It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Liyana Hassanel. The top stories. India and Pakistan halts hostilities after ceasefire agreement. And Interpol to record statements of Datin Sri Pamela links children in Singapore. The headlining story. India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire on Saturday, following diplomatic talks aimed at halting escalating military tensions. The ceasefire was brokered through U.S. mediation, with additional diplomatic support from Saudi Arabia and Turkey. As part of the agreement, Pakistan has reopened its airspace, while India has ordered the closure of 32 airports in border regions. Meanwhile, international leaders, including the G7 and China, have urged both nations to maintain restraint and engage in direct dialogue to prevent further escalation. The agreement comes after 2 weeks of deadly cross-border violence, initiated by an April 22nd attack in Indian-controlled Kashmir that left 26 dead. In the ensuing conflict, both nations exchanged missile strikes and artillery fire, resulting in at least 66 civilian deaths across both countries. Meanwhile, residents of Indian-administered Kashmir on Saturday said they were relieved about the immediate ceasefire deal between India and Pakistan.
जो अब हमने अपने सोशल मीडिया के द्वारा हमने देखा कि डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का एक ट्वीट आया, हम इस पर बहुत खुश हैं।
जैसे हमने अभी खबरों में सुना, हम बहुत खुश हो गए। पिछले 4-5 दिनों से हम परेशान हो गए हैं क्योंकि दोनों तरफ जो गोलाबारी हो रही थी।
Malaysians planning to travel to India and Pakistan, especially to the Kashmir region, are advised to temporarily postpone non-essential travel due to ongoing unrest in both countries. Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan also urged Malaysians currently in these countries, particularly students, to contact the nearest embassy or consulate to update their details.
Khususnya pelajar-pelajar, kita nasihatkan supaya mengelakkan daripada mereka pergi ke tempat yang bermasalah, terutamanya di Kashmir. Batalkan dulu apa jua rancangan perjalanan ke sana agar keadaan apa-apa berlaku mereka nanti tidak terjejas.
Speaking at an event in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan on Saturday, Muhammad said that to date no Malaysians have been reported as being trapped or affected by the conflict. He also said that authorities will continue to monitor the situation closely and any further updates will be provided as necessary. Previously, the Malaysian High Commission in New Delhi advised Malaysians to postpone all non-essential travel to India due to the cross-border attacks involving Pakistan. Malaysia, through Wisma Putra, has also issued a statement urging both countries to de-escalate tensions in order to prevent further uncertainty and prolonged conflict. In other news, arrangements are currently underway by Interpol to record statements from the children of missing 42-year-old businesswoman Datin Sri Pamela Ling to facilitate investigations into her alleged abduction. Putrajaya District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Aidi Shah Mohammed said the process is expected to take place soon at the Malaysian High Commission in Singapore. According to ID, police are collaborating closely with international authorities to ensure the process proceeds smoothly. So far, 25 witnesses have given their statements in connection with the case. He added that police have obtained a facial composite of a suspect believed to be involved in the case. However, the photo fit match result stands at 40%. Earlier, it was reported that police were still in the process of recording statements from other witnesses, including Ling's children. The circumstances surrounding Ling's disappearance raised questions after it was alleged that she was abducted while she was on her way to have her statement recorded at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC headquarters in Putrajaya on April 9th. A witness said that the e-hailing car she was traveling in was intercepted by several vehicles, after which she was taken away by individuals wearing police outfits. In Pulau Pinang, 4 eateries in the Timur Laut district have been ordered to close for 14 days, following a surprise integrated operation by the Pulau Pinang City Council, MBPP, in collaboration with several government agencies. The closures, which will last until May 22nd, were enforced under the MBPP food establishment bylaws after the premises were found to have breached hygiene standards. The joint operation involved MBPP's licensing department, the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry, the Health Ministry, and the Inland Revenue Board. During the operation at these premises, health inspectors discovered rat droppings in food storage areas, including freezers and kitchen spaces. Authorities also found medication being kept together with beverages in a refrigerator at one of the eateries. According to the City Council, the establishments were operating under conditions that failed to meet the required standards of cleanliness. Compounds amounting to 1,900 ringgit were issued to the operators for 4 offences found during the inspections, while 2 notices totaling 500 ringgit were issued to premises that permitted smoking in dining areas, in violation of the tobacco product control regulations. 3 foreign nationals were injured after a huge fire broke out at a warehouse in Simpang Ampat, Pulau Pinang on Saturday. Plumes of a black smoke from the blaze were visible from more than 10 kilometers away.
The fire, which occurred in the Permatang Tinggi industrial area at around 1 p.m., involved a 10,000 square foot warehouse used for storing paint and chemical solvents. Over 100 firefighters from the Bandar Perda, Bukit Mertajam, Sungai Bakap, Batu Kawan, and Jalan Perak fire stations, as well as nearby volunteer fire brigades, were dispatched to the scene to extinguish the massive blaze and prevent it from spreading to surrounding premises. It is estimated that 70% of the Class B building structure was destroyed in the incident. The flames was fully brought under control by 12:50 p.m. The injured victims were workers at the warehouse and were taken to a nearby private medical facility for treatment. The cause of the fire and the total losses are still under investigation. In Selangor, a man was burnt to death after the pickup truck he was driving crashed into a tree and caught fire in Section 27 Shah Alam early Saturday morning. The incident occurred along Persiaran Kuala Langat, heading towards Persiaran Hulu Langat at about 4:45 a.m. Shah Alam Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Iqbal Ibrahim stated that the victim, a 49-year-old local man, was trapped inside the pickup after the crash and could not be rescued as the vehicle had already been completely engulfed by flames. Firemen from the Shah Alam Fire and Rescue Station later extinguished the blaze. The victim's body was then taken to Shah Alam Hospital for post-mortem. The cause of the accident is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. A total of 251 candidates have put themselves forward to contest national-level positions in the 2025 PKR party elections, following the close of the nomination period at 11:59 p.m. on Friday. This year will also see uncontested wins for the positions of PKR President and Angkatan Muda Keadilan AMK Chief. PKR Central Election Committee JPP Chairman stated that of the total 104 nominations were received for the Central Leadership Council, MPP, 85 for positions within the AMK, which is the party's youth wing, and the remaining 61 for the women's wing. She also said that the encouraging level of participation this time around proves that PKR is not short of emerging talent. She added that such involvement helps to further strengthen the party's position as a platform that continuously empowers new leaders and strengthens internal democracy. Dr. Zaliha further said that the objection period has been set for 2 days starting Sunday, followed by the appeals process on the following Tuesday and Wednesday. The final list of candidates for national-level posts will be confirmed on Thursday. The official campaigning period will begin thereafter and will end at 11:59 p.m. on May 22nd, with voting scheduled to take place the following day.
A mother's love goes beyond what the eyes can see and the heart can hold. The challenges and hurdles mothers face in raising a child are often understood only by fellow mothers and may be more than what others can bear. A true testament to their unwavering love and care. Nightline's Muhammad Nadir Asfar reports.
Today on Mother's Day, while many are celebrating with hugs and laughter, some mothers are quietly making sacrifices. Their love shows in endurance, in giving, and in hope. Being a mother is a daunting task on its own, but balancing that with running a business is an extraordinary challenge. For Tracy Amelia Jack, that is all in a day's work, as she juggles both roles with strength, grace, and unwavering determination. Moving to Kuala Lumpur back in 2017, staying long-term was not part of her plan.
I started involved in business is around 2017, which is 9 years. So after 9 years involving in Lapar dan Dahaga, I decided to open my own shop, Warung Ngelewat View.
However, the 40-year-old single mother faces a different kind of challenge, trying to maintain her relationship with her son, who is thousands of kilometers away. Despite the distance, she remains deeply committed to staying present in his life through daily calls, shared stories, and constant emotional support.
My son with my mom in Kuching. When I approached my son wanted to come to KL, but my mom doesn't want. So when the time my mom want to come to KL, my son he's changing his mind to stay in Kuching because of his friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
For Tracy, Mother's Day is a bittersweet reminder of both love and longing, as she navigates the distance between her and her son, striving to stay emotionally connected despite the miles that separate them.
After I open my shop, I will video call my son at night. So we are contacting daily basis by video call.
Oh, what do you usually talk, during that video call? Maybe you ask about how he's doing.
Yeah, I will ask about his school, his daily activity.
In spite of all this, Tracy believes that this is the best way she can support her son, ensuring that he feels loved, supported, and empowered even from afar. Her journey is a quiet reminder that a mother's strength often shines brightest in the background, where love works hardest and speaks the softest. Muhammad Nadir Asfar, TV3.
Singapore car causes deadly collision. This and more after the break.
Aku bekerja dengan company. Company nak aku jaga kampung ni. Selamat datang ke kampung Kedayak. Ada kau batas.
Awak ni perikau tu?
Dialah satu-satunya harapan kita sekarang.
Company akan ambil alih perniagaan biji timah.
Dia nak suruh kami semua lawan askar Belanda ke?
Bukan askar Belanda, tapi 6 jelaka.
Tanyalah Ustaz minggu ini, Isnin tutup kiri kanan terbuka. Selasa, zikir terapi jiwa. Rabu, etika sosial berteras hujurat. Khamis, surah Al-Qasas ayat 1 hingga 6. Jumaat, haruan makan anak. Sabtu, bahaya derhaka dalam kehidupan. Ahad, Aisyah radhiyallahu anha, ikon intelektual. Tanyalah Ustaz, biar tahu jangan keliru di TV3 dan TV9.
Macam ni, ingat ni dugaan Allah lah kepada saya kan. Kadang kita macam ni lah, kadang kita ni otak ni fikir macam dengan kewangan, pamper dia. Kadang kita menjerit kita lagi tertekan.
Pernah tak ada duit nak makan, lauk tak ada. Tapi macam biasalah, tapi cuma macam tak ada nak makan. Kadang ada yang tak makan, itulah. Tak ada makan, saya dahulukan adik-adik, serta abang-abang tu.
Hai kawan-kawan, pernah tak rasa tak selesa bila ada orang cuba sentuh badan kita? Kawan-kawan ingat tahu badan kita ni milik kita. Kalau ada orang sentuh tapi izin, korang cakap tidak. Lepas tu korang bagi tahu ibu bapa ataupun cikgu ataupun kakak dan abang. Okey?
Betul tu. Ingat, tak ada orang yang boleh buat kita rasa takut dan tak selesa. Kita berhak rasa selamat dan dilindungi.
Welcome back. Police are investigating the driver of a Singapore-registered car for allegedly causing a fatal four-vehicle crash on the Second Link Expressway in Johor. Iskandar Putri Police Chief Assistant Commissioner M. Kumarasan said the incident, which occurred at around 7 p.m. on Friday, resulted in the death of a motorcyclist. According to Kumarasan, based on initial investigations, the 27-year-old foreigner had made an illegal U-turn and crashed his car into the central divider. The impact sent shards of the metal guardrail flying into the opposite lane, fatally striking a 26-year-old motorcyclist who collided with the debris and was flung onto the road shoulder. The victim suffered severe head and leg injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash also caused the motorcyclist's storage box to be thrown into oncoming traffic, where it was struck by two other motorcycles. Fortunately, both riders escaped uninjured. Following the crash, several furious road users assaulted the driver, hitting him with a helmet before police arrived at the scene. The case is being investigated under the Road Transport Act for causing death by reckless or dangerous driving, and the Penal Code for voluntarily causing hurt by dangerous weapons or means. A trailer driver involved in a multi-vehicle crash on the North-South Expressway near Kulai, Johor on Thursday night, which claimed 2 lives, has been remanded for 4 days. The remand order until this Tuesday was issued by Pontian Magistrate Arina Azmin Ahmad Marzuki to facilitate police investigations into the case under the Road Transport Act for causing death by reckless or dangerous driving. Kulai Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Tan Seng Lee said the man was arrested after he went to the police station to lodge a report. A urine test found him positive for drug use. In the 10:15 p.m. incident, the trailer, which was carrying a shipment of tin, lost control and crashed into the back of a pickup truck before veering into the opposite lane and colliding with 2 cars, killing 42-year-old Ji Yi Chin and her 15-year-old daughter Neo Jo Yi, as well as injuring 15 others. A 15-year-old girl who was reported to have fallen from the Kampung Beting Luas jetty in Pantai Remis, Perak on Friday evening has been found drowned. The body of Shirley Ngu Seok Yi was discovered on Saturday morning, about 1 kilometer from where she is believed to have fallen. The victim's body was found floating by the riverbank by volunteer firefighters at around 7:50 a.m. It was later handed over to the police for further action after being identified by the victim's family. The search and rescue operation had been launched after the Fire and Rescue Department received an emergency call about the incident at 7:30 p.m. on Friday. The search was carried out on the river's surface using 2 boats covering a 3-kilometer radius before being called off at midnight. It is understood that the teenager had gone for a walk near the jetty before falling into the river, reportedly due to a rotted jetty floor. Several animal rights groups from across Malaysia gathered at Dataran Merdeka on Saturday to voice their support for better animal welfare. The event, dubbed Execute AWA, was held to urge the authorities to take stronger action in enforcing the Animal Welfare Act 2015 as part of efforts to prevent animal cruelty. Muhammad Nadir Asfar has the story.
Animal rights activist and Execute AWA organizer Sue N. Kong emphasized that greater collaboration between authorities and support groups is crucial in developing effective solutions to address animal cruelty.
We want to make sure that the government understands that even though we are holding you accountable, we are also very inviting of solutions and engagement.
Among the support groups in attendance were Trap, Neuter and Release Malaysia, TNRM, SSPCA Selangor, as well as the Halfway Home for Furry Strays.
We want it to be an active actions to be taken so that we become a society that is recognized as loving society, because right now the way that we are dealing right now is insufficient.
Cases of animal cruelty have been on the rise, with recent high-profile incidents including the beating of a dog to death in Keningau, Sabah, the killing of a mother dog and her 6 puppies in Sungai Buloh, Selangor, and a series of cat killings at University Malaya and University Malaysia, Sarawak.
In standing up for the voiceless, the Execute AWA gathering is a reminder that compassion is central for a humane society. Not only that, the movement is also a reflection of the public demand for increased accountability for animal welfare. Muhammad Nadir Asfar, TV3.
More empathy! More compassion! More compassion! More justice! More justice!
Han Duck-soo named in last-minute candidate switch. The details when Nightline returns.
Di sebalik senyuman, ada ibu yang menderita dalam diam.
Kau ni lemah, kau ni tak kuat. Aku okey je, normal apa benda semua kan. We cannot do that. Badan kita bertindak dengan sesuatu situasi itu berbeza.
Bukan merajuk atau manja. Ia adalah satu kondisi yang perlu diberi perhatian.
Kita dah teragak-agak, adakah aku ni siuman ke tidak?
Kenali apakah puncanya? Kemurungan postpartum. Perbincangannya dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Macam ni ingat-ingat ni dugaan Allah lah pada saya kan. Kadang kita macam ni lah, kadang kita ni otak ni fikir macam dengan kewangan, pamper dia. Kadang kita memang jahit kita lagi tertekan.
Pernah tak ada duit nak makan, lauk tak ada. Tapi macam biasa lah, tapi cuma macam tak ada nak makan. Kadang ada yang tak makan, itulah. Tak ada makan saya dahulu kan adik-adik, serta abang-abang tu.
Bidang kemahiran solekan ini memberi peluang yang besar kerana permintaannya sangat tinggi.
Ada satu kali saya buat efek muka rentung dan saya nampak ada satu kelibat muka yang lebih kurang sama.
Press it to switch by the human driving to the robot driving.
Kereta ini hanya mengikut arahan menggunakan suara melalui teknologi AI yang mana Huawei merupakan pembekal kepada teknologinya.
Unit gerak khas berhadapan dengan cabaran terbesar mereka.
Kami polis. Jangan cuba buat apa-apa.
Scam apa pula kali ni?
Dalam gambar cantik, depan-depan lagi cantik.
Dengan keadaan dunia terbuka sekarang, penjenayah boleh buat macam-macam.
Kebebasan diorang ni melampaui batas. Boleh cetuskan macam-macam masalah.
Berjayakan mereka membongkar kebenaran. Gerak khas Undercover setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
On to the foreign front. A political earthquake is shaking South Korea's conservative camp as the People Power Party moves to replace its presidential candidate on Saturday, just weeks before the June 3rd election. The party has now annulled the nomination of Kim Moon-soo, who won the primary with 56% of the vote amidst growing internal turmoil. Former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo has been named as the new candidate, a move seen as an effort to unify the party and present stronger challenge to Liberal frontrunner Lee Jae-myung. Kim has condemned the decision as a political coup and initiated legal action, but a Seoul court has cleared the way for Han's nomination. With the election looming, the Conservative Party now faces the daunting task of regaining public trust and cohesion. A crucial round of talks between the United States and China began on Saturday as both sides seek to diffuse rising trade tensions. The high-level two-day meeting is taking place in Geneva, making the first direct dialogue since tariffs were heightened earlier this year. U.S. officials are pushing for fairer trade terms, intellectual property protections, and greater market access for American firms, while China is expected to press for the removal of certain trade restrictions and sanctions on its tech sector. The outcome could shape the future of global commerce, with businesses and markets around the world watching closely. Meanwhile, residents in Shanghai on Saturday were optimistic that a trade deal would be reached as China and the United States start their trade war meeting in Switzerland.
我个人认为呢，这个经过了这可能下来有大半个月的这个拉扯，美国在前几天的时候就已经释放出了善意和诚意，邀请咱们中国就进行关税战的谈判，咱们中国一直也没有答应，也没有同意。
我感觉应该是会达成协议，但是是时间问题吧，中国也不会这么轻易妥协吧，对，要看美国这个贸易战，他想持续多久，就是这样子。
Over in Spain, a toxic chlorine cloud has forced thousands of residents and tourists to stay indoors on Saturday after a fire broke out at a chemical storage facility that specializes in swimming pool cleaning products. Catalonia authorities have issued an urgent chemical alert, ordering approximately 160,000 people to remain indoors and avoid traveling to the affected area. Meanwhile, the Civil Protection Department advised residents to keep windows and doors closed until the situation was under control. The toxic cloud prompted immediate evacuations of nearby buildings and the closure of roads leading into the town. Emergency services were quickly deployed to contain the fire and monitor air quality levels. While no casualties have been reported, authorities continue to monitor the situation closely. Switching to sports, badminton, the 2025 Taipei Open. Malaysia's last remaining representatives, mixed doubles pair Chen Tangji, Chen Wense, bowed out in the semi-finals, following a defeat on Saturday. The unseeded duo's hopes of reaching their first final in their debut tournament were crushed by Indonesia's world number 22, Jafar Hidayatullah Felicia Pasaribu, losing 21-11, 21-15 in just 38 minutes. Tangji and Wense will now prepare for the Malaysia Masters in Bukit Jalil, scheduled for 20th to 25th May. On to tennis, the 2025 Italian Open in Rome. Carlos Alcaraz continues his campaign after making a winning return from injury on Friday. The world number 3 cruised through Serbia's Dusan Lajovic in a 6-3, 6-3 win, advancing to the third round of the Masters 1000 event. Alcaraz will next face 8th-seeded Serbian Laslo Djere in the next round. In another action, world number 2 Alexander Zverev stormed into the third round with a comprehensive 6-2, 6-1 win over Argentina's Camilo Ugo Carabelli. Zverev converted 6 out of 10 break points to kickstart his defense on the clay court. Lithuanian qualifier Vilius Gobas will next challenge Zverev for a spot in the fourth round. In the women's event, world number 7 Mira Andreeva downed Colombian qualifier Emiliana Arango 6-2, 6-4 to progress to the third round. Russia's Andreeva, who just turned 18, held her nerve to close out the victory in 90 minutes. Andreeva will next face Linda Noskova of the Czech Republic. Also joining her will be Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, winning against Serbia's Olga Danilovic 6-1, 6-4. Next up for 8th seed, Zheng is a match against Poland's Magdalena Frau. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we go, let's take a look as 12,000 people gathered at a concert in London to commemorate the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and be well, Malaysia.